in the most recent United Soccer Coaches poll that came out on September 16th. We're getting set here. Stanford Cardinal in the home white uniforms, Virginia Tech in the away blacks, and we are off. Alfonso Tenconi-Gradius will start it off, and he'll find one of the captains, Will Cleary, who will send it forward. Stanford like to start strong, but they haven't quite been able to do so of recent. You look at their recent games, and Stanford have conceded the first goal in 4 of their total 8 matches, including 3 out of their last 4 games. In 3 of their 6 wins, so half of their wins that they've had to come back from behind after conceding first. And you mentioned that draw that they're coming off of against San Jose State University. They did score first in that one, but then they conceded 2. They had to come back with a late winner. That one from Alfonso Tenconi-Gradius. He had both goals against San Jose State, but they had to come back with that late winner just to draw it up. So right now the Cardinal just looking to start strong again, specifically to start strong on that back line. That one headed all the way back.
And even a little shove there by Virginia Tech's goalkeeper and Sam Joseph. Of course, with Sam Joseph earlier in the season, he took home an ACC Defensive Player of the Week honor award. Definitely has been making a name for himself in the East Coast section of the ACC Conference this season.
Virginia Tech will take about at possession. Uimana wearing the captain's armband and playing in the right back position. Will throw it in for the Hokies. Sam Joseph, you mentioned, in goal for them. Transfer out of UCLA after last year. And his head coach said he's the most pro-ready player on our team. He's certainly been a rock in their back line so far. 3 clean sheets, and that's half of the games. 6 games total for Virginia Tech, 3 clean sheets. Here's a cross in from Chow. Airley is able to get his head on it. Falls to Imani. Chow able to scoop that up, and Stanford in possession. Caught on this left-hand side. Chow trying to find the opening. He can't. Chasing it down all the way to the line. Here's the cross. Bohane's there. Coming screaming in is Cleary, and he'll get there. Cleary trying to find some space, and he does. Chow to Bohane, and well intercepted there from Felicio.
You see the physicality just ramping up. You know, Stanford right there just throwing that double team.
Physicality and a high press on both sides. Groeneveld lets it bounce. Sullins will pick it up. A quick 1-2, and down the line is Butel. Butel trying to round the corner against Alfonso Tenconi-Gradius, and Tenconi-Gradius will win the goal kick for the Cardinal. Tenconi-Gradius and Groeneveld playing in that center back role for the Cardinal. Neither of them having started in the center back role for the Cardinal last year. Alfonso Tenconi-Gradius is a forward by nature, and Groeneveld spent a lot of time in that center midfield, but with their captain Noah Adnan graduating, with Dylan Hooper, who played alongside Noah Adnan last year, picking up an injury in the offseason, something needed to be done, and these two have stepped in. Jeremy Gunn said Tenconi-Gradius, he looks like he's a natural back there. Obviously, it's hard to force a forward who loves to score goals to go back to center back, but he's done a great job, and hey, still 4 goals. He likes to still get up on those free kicks. It'll be a throw in here for Virginia Tech down their left-hand side.
Well, for Tenconi-Gradius, you know, very experienced player, redshirt junior. I'm sure that is a different change of pace for him not being at the front, but good on Jeremy Gunn to give a player like him an opportunity tonight to play in that back line so he could use some of that defensive talent that he hasn't really been able to have too many opportunities to display, but I'm sure this is a good game for him to do that, just knowing that Virginia Tech has been on the weak side as far as offense is concerned.
So he's actually been starting there this entire season, but Jeremy Gunn says still work to be done, because you look at the Stanford Cardinal, and I mentioned already in this broadcast, they've conceded early on many times, and they've conceded first. And I asked Jeremy Gunn, like, what do you do when you see that on the stat sheet? How do you mitigate that? And he said, well, when you've got 2 starting center backs who are new to the position this year, that's going to happen. And he jokingly said, well, we'll just chalk it up to bad coaching, which certainly don't believe from Gunn. Virginia Tech unable to settle the ball and find a bout of possession. That's Pym, the freshman, finding Bohane. And Virginia Tech bench don't like that call. Foul against Zach Bohane. That one against Alvarez, wearing number 17. He's going to sit in that defensive center mid for Virginia Tech, and it will be a free kick for the Cardinals. So far, possession has been to the Cardinal. Almost none of Virginia Tech's attacks have even made it truly past the halfway line. If they have, they've rolled out of bounds off of the end line. This is a team that likes to be in possession. Stanford are high pressing, so we'll see what they're able to do and how they're able to work that out. Stanford like to high press in those first 10. But obviously that does open you up to the counterattack, which Virginia Tech have been trying to exploit. Here's the ball into the box. It falls to Bohane. Bohane sends it wide.
Not a bad try there by Bohane. Of course, that's his sweet spot when it comes to taking those shots. As you know, we've always seen ever since he stepped foot here on campus at Stanford, usually a long-range shooter. And again, we talk about in the pregame, expect to see a lot of opportunities to come off his foot.
That one with the right, Bohane, usually a lefty. He likes to cut that, playing on the right mid. He likes to cut it inside, find that opening with his favorite left. Ball will sail out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in deep in their own half. That'll be Felicio to take it for Virginia Tech.
And the Hokies just seem a little bit too out of sorts.
Dangerous ball into the middle, headed out. Go ahead.
And almost can see it as an own goal. Looked like Sam Joseph is going to kind of just let that one go, but the Hokies trying to clean it up here.
It'll be a throw deep in their own attacking third for the Stanford Cardinal. Will Cleary will take it. Cardinals seem to be setting up for a long throw. We know Palmer Banks got a long throw. Let's see what Will Cleary can do. On the ground to Bohane. Cleary gets the cross off inside. Islam! Oh, Trevor Islam, you can tell he wants that one back. Just couldn't quite get over it as he rose.
It's a great ball. Islam had a clear line to the goal, just a little bit too high on the jump header that time. Sam Joseph didn't really have to do too much there, but you know, shouldn't really shake your head too much at that. May get another opportunity like that later on this game.
Yeah, great opportunity indeed from the ACC Co-Offensive Player of the Week. That announced on Tuesday. Trevor Islam awarded that. Mentioned he scored that game winner against Syracuse for Stanford's first ACC win of the year. Here's the long ball intended for Sullins. Cardinal will come out on top of that 50-50. And it falls perfectly to Bank. Not a great slide tackle there. That last-ditch defending by Airley, who's getting the start tonight. Airley, freshman defender. He started and played in all but one game for the Hokies. Getting the start again here. Finding the space out on that right side. It's Perez trying to work with Umana. Again, you can just see Virginia Tech running out of options. In their last game against Boston College, coming off of a 1-0 loss, we saw something similar. They had to resort to skipping over the midfield, skipping lines, and sending balls long on the counterattack. Something that they don't necessarily want to resort to, but they can be explosive in it if they have to.
Yes, Sarah Pace does play a role when it comes to playing a team like Stanford. They're going to play fast on the attacks. They're going to, try to stop you in any way it can. Like, you can just see the defense continuing to show its presence. All these one-on-one opportunities causing problems for the midfielders.
Bohane, one of the midfielders, causing some trouble for the Virginia Tech defense right now, trying to turn down that line. Can't quite get it off, but he'll win the throw. Cleary will go quickly. Bohane looking across. He gets it off. Coming screaming in was Partal. It falls to Bank. Fletcher Bank getting the cross off back post. Cleary was almost there, headed away by Felicio. And not kept in. It'll be a throw-in again for the Cardinal. Pym with a cheeky scoop to Cleary. Cleary will work with Bohane. Here's the cross back post. Coming off of his line is Joseph. He gets the punch on it. The Cardinal just peppering this box with crosses right now, and it feels like, well, Virginia Tech are bending. How long can they bend and not break? Here's the cross from Chow. Headed out and away from danger, but it'll be a Stanford throw-in once again.
I give compliments to that possession there. Great ball movement all around for Stanford at the front. Just need to get that space in, but it seems like Virginia Tech is starting to understand the assignment a little bit better in regards to trying to give Sam Joseph that extra protection.
Palmer Bank, the left back, will take this throw. Twin brother to Fletcher Bank, and it's a long one into the box.
Good fight for the ball there in the middle third.
Rowan Schnebley in goal for the Cardinal will get his first touches. Bohane trying to head it on to Islam. Peralta's right there to scoop it up. Just a little too long of a touch from Peralta. And it's a corner once again for the Cardinal. Third of the match. It'll be Alex Chow, the sophomore, who will stroll over and take this. The lefty. That'll be an in-swinger here from the sophomore. Alex Chow, the only one in his class to get significant starting minutes last year in his freshman campaign. Getting a lot of them again here in his sophomore campaign. A beautiful ball in, headed up. 50-50 ball is challenged, and now Virginia Tech will try to clear it out. A miscue on the clearance. That's not what you want. There it is, exactly what Virginia Tech want, up and out. Once again, Stanford in possession.
Again for a job of Felicio calling an air raid there, just trying to get that ball in the air, and it looks like the Hokies may have to go with that approach. They try to go for a little bit more of the long passes, try to go deep if you can.
Under significant pressure, and the question becomes, when you're under that much pressure, how do you relieve it, as the Cardinal win yet another corner kick, fourth already of the game. And it will be the freshman Partal who will jog over and take it, Joshua Partal. And when you look at his statistics, 8 games played, all of them started, and 4 assists. That alone tells you just how key he is to this midfield, pulling all of the strings. Here's a beautiful ball in, near post, headed away.
Partal, the freshman out of Bangor, Maine. Highly touted coming out of high school. United Soccer Coaches All-American. Definitely a high ceiling for him beginning his Stanford career.
Yeah, quite a freshman class that the Stanford Cardinal will able to get in recruitment for this season. It's Partal and Pym holding down the center midfield in Stanford's 4-4-2, both of them freshmen. And this will be Felicio, the left back, to take the throw-in. Marcano will swing it around the back. Peralta will just face up and assess his options. This is the first time we've seen the Stanford Cardinal not high pressing. Virginia Tech just trying to look a little more comfortable in possession and find those openings. Yet again, they'll try to skip lines. You understand what Joseph was going for in that long ball, trying to relieve the pressure, get the ball upfield. But when you finally have the ball, maybe trying to play in possession and get your offense going could have been the solve here. Marcano battling in the middle. Marcano and Bohane going at it. It's Bohane who comes out on top.
And it's great for Sam Joseph to kind of read the pitch there, kind of having a feel like, okay, where are the openings going to be? Where can I give that extra inch for my guys to move it up in the attacking? Because, of course, we've noticed already that Virginia Tech haven't had too many offensive possessions early in this match, already 15 minutes in.
2 shots recorded for the Stanford Cardinal right now. 0 shots on goal recorded, but that does not tell the story, and that's kind of how the season's been for the Cardinal. You look at their statistics, you see a few shots on goal, but that doesn't tell the story of how much they're actually creating in the box. This ball has been in the 18. Here's a follow-up here from Pym. It's blocked. Yet again, Virginia Tech trying to clear it out on the left. That's Dylan Groeneveld, the center back, who can't believe his luck that he sailed that over.
And another one just slips away for the Cardinal. Grunewald had another clear line to the goal, just a little bit too much power on the shot. But again, Stanford already up 4-0 in the shot category in this game, so you can see that the opportunities continuing to still pile up. They just need that one good one to fall.
And showing in the high press, Peralta does a good job to beat that press on the dribble, but sending it forward looking like it was intended for Sullins. Number 15 is playing in that point position, that number 9, or center forward, if you will. He's going to have quite a job to do for Virginia Tech tonight if they're going to bypass the midfield. His job is going to be hold-up play. Virginia Tech get possession. They'll send it to Joseph, who will distribute with his feet. Here's the captain, Uimana, trying to find Sullins. Sullins with some good hold-up play. He'll find Mercano, and now this is the Virginia Tech side that we've seen in possession.
You can hear communication over on the left flank. You know, they're calling out the passes, trying to get their guys open. And of course, you know, this is probably the best opportunity that Virginia Tech have had so far in the half.
Quick 1-2. Marcano was chasing down. Couldn't get there, but it'll be a throw in for Virginia Tech.
You know, coming into this match, you know, Virginia Tech, they've been low on the offensive category. Of course, only scoring 3 goals in their last 3 matches, but just knowing that most of the teams that they have played, the defensive progression that they display kind of gave them a good test coming in to tonight. And of course, with Virginia Tech having to come over here on the West Coast swing, you know, travel could have played a role in this. Oh, look at Sam Joseph just bumping into.
Joseph, from the jump, has not enjoyed the trouble that Trevor Islam has been giving him. And Trevor Islam, no cards on the year so far, but definitely getting a talking to here from our center referee. Joseph making it known that he's not a fan of Islam applying that kind of physicality and pressure. It's Nikola Alexic is our center referee. Quite the job to be done tonight. ACC play is always a little more physical, a little more fast-paced. You're mentioning Virginia Tech's offense. We can look at the comparison here between these two offenses. 1.17 goals per game average scored here by Virginia Tech compared to Stanford's 2.25. As Virginia Tech are threatening, here's the cross into the box. Marcano, Felicio will play 1-2 with Mercano, and Virginia Tech will pull it back, swing it around, and complete the switch.
And keeping it on the ground. Pretty good in the attacking third. Oh, like it could be a interesting call there. We get a whistle.
Yeah, the Cardinal wanted a call for a handball. Of course, Virginia Tech probably wanted the foul before. That was Uimana who went down, but the call is for the handball, so it'll be a Stanford Cardinal free kick on the ground.
Talk about catching a break when you force the envelope. You know, Virginia Tech having to work more over to the right, just knowing that the left side hasn't been working very well for them in this half. And you could thank Cincone Gradius for just having such great protection in the backfield.
Grunewald will send it forward, intended for Palmer Bank. Well won in the air by Airley. No pun intended. Just a little too far for Bohane, and Virginia Tech will take over. Looking a little more comfortable on the ball and in possession. The Hokies seem to be growing into this match. Still a high press coming from the Cardinal. It's no surprise, we know this team can take down high-powered teams. Obviously with the win against the number 3, or the then number 3, Ohio State. And the draw against the number 2, Marshall. What a good step over there on the left-hand side.
Oh, we also know too, Sarah, this is only Virginia Tech's second ever matchup against Stanford in the all-time series. So there's not a lot of familiarity as far as knowing the play styles. And curious to know how Mike Brizendine was able to study up his guys coming into this one.
Absolutely. I mean, you watch as much tape as you can. Here's the cross in. Deflected. Yes, it'll be a corner kick in the first of the night for Virginia Tech, and it looks like Perez will set up to take it. Jeremy Gunn has spoken about that. You know, there's only so much you can garner from tape. I mean, come from the Pac-12. The Stanford Cardinal knew their Pac-12 rivals in and out. So it's all about learning these new squads, and the ACC is such a big conference that even in their second season right now, the Stanford Cardinal getting some first ever matchups in conference play. Fletcher Bank alone, 1v2. He looks like he's gonna go at it himself. Bank just trying to round the corner. Uwimana gets his foot on it. Here's the cross in, long ball, and it'll be kept in. Chasing it down is Chow for the Cardinal, but he can't get to it. Well defended once again by Virginia Tech, and you saw the moment of recognition by Fletcher Bank when he was like, nobody's here, let's try to round this corner, and they'll be in the box for me. But incredible defending by the captain, Uwimana, playing in that right back position to chase Fletcher Bank down. A tall task indeed. Fletcher Bank last year second in assists on this squad, and it's because he has that ability to take the ball down the line and send those crosses in for his teammates to get on the end of.
And the way that Fletcher Bank was trying to go on the attack, man, he looked like he was running like a cheetah in the safari, the way that he was trying to eye that goal. But again, that back line by Virginia Tech, you know, Stanford's been doing a great job creating those opportunities, trying to design plays on the fly in their attacking third. But for some reason, the Hokies are able to find that little bit of inch in order to keep them off balance.
Will Cleary wearing the captain's armband tonight. He will find Partal in the middle. Cleary, senior out of Connecticut, wearing that captain's armband, as I mentioned. Really won that starting role at the end of last season. And was voted captain for his side as a senior this year. Trying to play 1-2 with Bohane, who will be fouled in the back. Bohane wearing another one of those captain's armbands. Zach Bohane, also a senior out of Monte Sereno, California.
Zach Bohane, he's got a bright future. Probably would notice some MLS scouts maybe coming to these games to check him out. But, you know, just the way that he plays and the kind of player that he can be at the pro level, if he decides to go that route, definitely is going to be a quality player and at the next level.
That's a foul on the far side. Virginia Tech will get the free kick. Palmer Bank, the offender, against Perez, who's able to draw that foul. Had a great matchup. Palmer Bank playing in that left back role for the Cardinal. Perez playing in that right wing, right forward role for Virginia Tech. Tech in the 4-3-3. So Perez technically in that right wing, right forward role, intended to push forward. And those two certainly have been going at it tonight. About halfway through this first half, long ball sent up. It falls perfectly in the box, and Schnebley is there. That was beautiful. Just trying to help that ball on.
I think that's something that Virginia Tech needed. You know, let me try to get a chance to at least get it close enough to the goal. Let me try to get my leg warmed up, Colin Buell was saying. But still, a lot of time to kind of clean it up. But I guess you just needed that one to see, to know that, hey, it is possible to get past this defense of the Cardinal.
Well, and that's been kind of the Achilles heel of the Stanford Cardinal team. You look at some of the stat sheets, and, I mean, for example, they're coming off that 2-2 draw against San Jose State University. San Jose State had 2 shots on goal, and they both went in. So it's been the story of the season so far for the Cardinal. And the other teams get that opportunity. They have been able to finish it. Cardinal, on the other hand, able to create so many on their side. I mean, also able to put a ton away, averaging over 2 goals a game is nothing to be scoffed at. Virginia Tech will just send that out of bounds. They'll try to push their lines forward as the Cardinal will throw it in their own half. 21 minutes to play here in this first half. Still locked at 0, and that's the most important thing, right? Despite the Stanford Cardinal arguably dominating the last 25 minutes, we're still at 0-0.
Yeah, we thought that the offensive push would become present in the first half. You can see with Stanford having those opportunities on their attacks, they just can't seem to find the opening.
Will Cleary off of the ball. You can't see it on the screen right now, but he went down way off of the ball, and he's still grabbing at his ankle, and he's going to go down on the ground now and ask the ref to pause play. That's never what you want to see. The ball was all the way down on the far left side with Fletcher Bank, and on the bottom right side, Will Cleary just pulled up, grabbing at his ankle, and again, non-contact. Never what you want to see. We can hope the best. We won't speculate as to what this is, but teams will take this as a moment to assess themselves, and the athletic training staff will be called on for Cleary. So 0-0, and just as I was saying, Philip, Stanford have been the better team for the last 25, but you look at the scoreboard, and Virginia Tech, they're in good shape.
Yeah, absolutely, Sarah. And, just talking about Virginia Tech at the top of the hour, I did say that they're coming into this game with a chip on their shoulder as well as something to prove, and they've definitely displayed it. I have to give credit where credit is due, just seeing how they've been able to disrupt the offense of Stanford, just knowing that the Cardinal bring out the high-power front line, but that front line just hasn't been able to get anything past Virginia Tech's back line in this one. And even though they are leading in the shot category as well as having those opportunities on corner kicks, they would love to find just that one sliver before the half ends. But I will say this for the Hokies. The Hokies are starting to get their rhythm and their flow going as far as their offensive press, as we saw in that Colin Butel shot attempt, which has only been the lone shot attempt of the game. But we know that the more relaxed and the more comfortable they get and they're attacking third, the more it's going to be easy to try to get that first goal.
Plenty of time to play, as they say. We've already seen Virginia Tech growing into this game, like you mentioned. So for Stanford, I think the question becomes, can we put one in the back of the net to make sure there's a little bit of an insurance policy? And we're going to get some substitutions here for the Stanford Cardinal. 4 substitutions to be exact. Quite a few indeed, and it will be number 29, Takashi Sasaki, who will replace Cleary in that right back role. We'll get you updated on the rest of them in a moment here. Up top, it will be a combination of Shane DeFlores, wearing number 13, and number 17 for the Stanford Cardinal, Tomo Allen.
Jeremy Gunn kind of clearing the bench a little bit, giving some burn to some of the young guys.
And your final one in the middle, wearing number 22, it's Jude Stone. Freshman out of Santa Rosa, California, holding down that center mid right now. He comes in place of Partal, so he'll play alongside his fellow freshman Pim in that center mid role. Jude Stone, I mentioned, freshman out of Santa Rosa, California. He's made an appearance in every single game so far that the Cardinal have played, but he hasn't started when he's got 1 goal and no assists. He scored his first collegiate goal against UC Davis, got the game winner for the 1-0 win for the Cardinals, so he's been seeing minutes in each game. And he gets some more minutes here in this ever-important ACC matchup.
And quite a background for the recent subs for Stanford as well. Of course, with Jude Stone, playing it for Project 510 development team for the Oakland Roots. And then you also think about Tomo Allen coming out of the San Jose Earthquakes Academy as well. These players coming from such great soccer backgrounds as far as, great programs, great clubs that have a good reputation as far as developing talent. And now they're getting an opportunity to showcase that at the college level.
Fresh legs as well for the Cardinal. That might help as they continue to high press. Sent long by Joseph. Uemana finding himself on the end of that. Virginia Tech will send it around the back and look for the switch. See what's open on this left-hand side. Peralta Again, bypassing the middle, going all the way up to Sullins, who is trying to flick that onto Butel. Collected by Groneveld and the Cardinal. We'll do the same thing and just send it forward. Chasing is Allen. Back and forth we go. We were expecting maybe a bit of an open game. It seems to be opening up here. Bohane slips it to DeFlores. DeFlores! My goodness. And it certainly looked like Sam Joseph got a hand on that, got a touch on it, parried it up off of the crossbar, and all of that. It ends up being a corner kick for the Cardinal.
And Shane DeFlores getting a nice ball from Bohane. And again, Sam Joseph doing everything he can to be protective. Now he's starting to get locked in here on the goal line, just knowing, hey, they're starting to get a little bit more closer, need to get it together.
Shane DeFlores is not who you want to see wide open in the front of your net. He was second on this squad last year in terms of goals. Here's the ball into the box from Bohane, cleared out. Chasing it down is Felicio, 50-50 ball with Bohane. It's Bohane who comes out on top. DeFlores will chase it down. The Stanford pressure is relentless. Pim showing off why he's been a starting freshman for the past 8 games. Beautiful defense work there by Uimana. Somehow getting his foot on that. And somehow making sure that clears the box as his body was facing towards his own goal, and we got another player down.
Uimana sacrificing the body a little bit, having to do a little bit too much. You can see these Virginia Tech players getting wounded, but only running in the third half of the pitch.
Noe Uimana Jr. wearing the captain's armband at Austin, Texas. 2023 ACC All-Freshman team. And he's been working, playing in that right back role, but we've seen him get all the way up and down that right-hand sideline. He comes up big for the Hokies there. This one into the box, headed out. It's Pim who will fire it off. Peralta will clear. Battle down that left-hand side, and we will get a call here.
That was Tito Peralta that brought the contact that time, kind of throwing the body a little bit.
Set piece opportunities, always some of the highest percentage chances in soccer. And the Stanford Cardinal look at the clock and see about 16 minutes left in this half. They're certainly going to want to put one away before halftime, considering all of the opportunities that they've had. And it will be, go ahead.
Energy has still been looking pretty good for the Cardinal, however, even with the time winding down. You know, they still haven't lost a lot of life in trying to keep the ball in their attacking third.
Something's going on here as our center referee walking over to the sideline to have a conversation with Mike Brizendine, head coach of Virginia Tech, now strolling over to Jeremy Gunn, head coach of Stanford, having a conversation with the both of them about what we can only speculate. But a free kick here for the Stanford Cardinal as Zach Bohane walks down the sideline. He'll have a conversation with his bench, and it looks like we're going to take a look at this. That is what the conversation was. So our referees will take a look. Nikola Alesic will look at the replay. The only assumption it can be, could it be upgraded to a yellow card? And we will find out. So Cardinal will jog over to their bench. They'll have a word. Virginia Tech remain on the field in their defensive position. Looking like they got a few subs set and ready to come in. We'll see if they make those before or after this free kick. Stanford with some fresh legs. 4 fresh subs onto the field. Virginia Tech will match that in a moment. Virginia Tech is technically unranked. Stanford ranked 3rd in the nation right now from the United Soccer Coaches poll. Virginia Tech technically unranked, but they received 6 votes in the United Soccer Coaches poll, tied for 2nd most with UConn, behind only Notre Dame. So that's Notre Dame and Virginia Tech, both in the ACC, receiving votes and kind of just under those top 25, and that is because of the strength of their schedule that we've been talking about, Philip.
Absolutely, and even Virginia Tech for a short time had a number next to their name, going from 8 to 14. That number 14 dropping after they lost to Boston College last time out. But in the long run, just knowing how stacked the ACC is this year, there's going to be more opportunities to get that number next to your name. And what I always like to say, Sarah, teams work so hard to get a number next to their name, but it's much harder to keep a number next to your name.
Certainly. Oh, we got the call in from the referee. It will not be upgraded. So we will reset here. We'll be Bohane standing over it alongside Stone. Stone with the right, Bohane with the left. Ball in from Bohane. Into the box and cleared out. Who else? Uemana chases it down. Once again, the Cardinal doing what they need to do to make sure that fast break doesn't happen. Fletcher Bank on that one. He'll jog back over to the left-hand side. You can see how tight this Stanford Cardinal defense is, and that's exactly what you want. You don't want them spread out. You want them staying tight, shifting from side to side, but mainly protecting that middle as Tanconi Gradius heads it away.
And you just see there with Felicio having a tough time on the throw-in, trying to look for the open feet.
DeFlores picks it up on the missed clearance. Allen looking for the cross. And again, last-ditch defending by the Hokies comes up big. Well, the question before this was, how long can they bend and not break? And it turns out, well, quite a lot so far. It'll be Palmer Bank with the long throw for the Cardinal. They've scored off one of these before. Always a difficult and dangerous ball as it's floated all the way to the center of the 18. Falls to Tanconi Gradius, who tries to chip that on with the outside of his right. No dice.
That's the closest opportunity that Tanconi Gradius has gotten so far tonight. Again, coming into tonight as tied for the team lead in goals scored on the season, and I'm sure he wanted to take a chance himself, just knowing that the front line has been kind of gone a little bit younger with Tomo Allen up there at the front.
Couple of subs here for Virginia Tech as well, as Joseph will just send that out of bounds. Declan Quill, wearing number 7, will check in. He got the start in their previous game against Boston College. He comes off the bench here against the Cardinal. Declan Quill, a senior out of Falls Church, Virginia. Played and started in every single game so far for Virginia Tech. This is the first game he hasn't started. Fletcher Bank working on the left-hand side. Gets that cross off, a high cross. Difficult to defend. Virginia Tech does a good job to make sure that doesn't go over the end line. Now they'll try to build out. Once again, under pressure from this Stanford high press. It's Pym. Pym, so hard to take the ball off of him. He'll find Sasaki. The Cardinal will find the space and swing it around. Beautiful work there by the Card as they swing it all the way to the left.
You see Stanford changing the approach, going for more space. You can see how spread out the pitch is starting to get for him. Virginia Tech having to adjust themselves on defense.
Sasaki with the cross. Well, I certainly wish there was a statistic for how many crosses we've seen. We don't have that for you, but it's been definitely upwards of 10. I can say that. Quick 1-2 was a good idea, looking for Bellatrix. It wasn't there. DeFlores, dispossessed. He can just see all of the pressure coming from the Stanford Cardinal. Virginia Tech just doesn't have any time. Not even enough time to take 2 touches, 1 touch, and you're immediately under pressure. It'll need to be a quick 1-2 for Virginia Tech to find that open space and beat that first line of defense by the Cardinal.
How about Alfonso Tanconi Gradius fighting for that ball there up in the air? And just talk about showing aggression, trying to keep the offense honest.
Certainly great work by the center back. It's hard to go up and win the ball when you're behind the attacking player and not get called for going over the back is what Tanconi Gradius is able to accomplish.
Yeah, he's definitely been playing Dagar Trustison
Pim!
pretty close.
Pim! Jack Pim, the freshman out of Stanford, Connecticut, tallies his third goal of his young collegiate career, and he puts the Cardinal up 1-0.
Jack Pim being the one to finally break the ceiling that Virginia Tech has been trying to protect. You can see just getting that extra little room, just able to knock it into the corner. Too slow or too fast for Sam Joseph to get to. Stanford continuing to show why you can't get anything past them if you give them a lot of opportunities. They feel like they've been able to learn and they've been able to study, and now they've been able to embrace in the moment.
What an opening there for Pim. You give him that kind of time and space to set up, and he's going to punish, and he does right there. Jack Pim scored in each of his first 2 games, the opener against Sac State, and then when the Cardinal hosted Denver, games 1 and 2 of the season, and Pim got a goal in each one of those. Hasn't scored since. 3 goals now for Pim in, 9 games. Incredibly great start for the freshman for his collegiate career, and Stanford seemingly not done yet. Here's the cross into the back post. Bohane vying for it. Well, Felicio will chase it down. Bohane somehow able to get his foot on that. This is Stone. The Cardinal will pull it back once again out of pressure. This is what the Cardinal have been so good at. It's not on. Pull it back. Let's work it around the back, move the defense around, and then find the opening. That's exactly how this goal started. That just got scored. Around the back, found the opening to Stone, and that's how the attack started.
Hey, definitely gotta love the maneuvers that the Cardinal have been putting up on the pitch here tonight. And, again, you have a good crowd behind you trying to keep that energy up. And 7 shots already only able to get you that one, but it was the one that counts. So going into the second half, may not have to push too much, but would be sweet to get a little bit more.
There's a cross in, intended for DeFlores. Cleared out, but once again, not quite enough. Here's the goal scorer. He's dispossessed. Not a lot of numbers forward for Virginia Tech. They're going to go. That's good work from Grunewald. Stanford left center back. Get there and win the throw-in. Now the Cardinal will send it up and out of pressure. And there have been moments where it looks like this game is about to open up and become really end-to-end, which it certainly could with both of these teams and the speed and the attack that they both have. But so far, whenever it looks like it's about to happen, Stanford are able to settle it down and have about a possession themselves, almost taking the wind out of the sails of Virginia Tech.
It will be a wire-to-wire matchup the rest of the evening. Virginia Tech may have to make a slight adjustment going into the second half. I'm going to be curious to see what Mike Brizendine decides to draw up for him.
Any ideas of what Virginia Tech could adjust here?
Well, the defense has been very solid overall, but it's really just about getting the ball down on your end of the field. Really, they just been the weak and the offense altogether.
Bellatrake trying to draw the pen. No pen, says our center referee. And he's going to go take a look at it in the monitor.
Oh, this is going to be interesting here, Sarah. Oh, it looks like Rowan Schnebley not agreeing with that. Kind of trying to talk him away from doing it.
Well, certainly to the naked eye, it didn't look like there was enough. But you have to remember that even if that touch was incredibly long by Bellatrake, and even if it was going to roll over the end line, if he was still fouled late, it's still a penalty kick. So our center referee has been busy indeed. Nicola Alexic once again. We'll head to the review board and take a look. First going to tell Jeremy Gunn what he's reviewing, then he'll jog over to the other sideline and tell Mike Brizendine what a turn this would be.
This is going to be an interesting call here, Sarah, because if Bellatrix did get a lot of contact running in, Virginia Tech will put themselves in a great position to go for an equalizer before the half's out.
Quick call, and no penalty is the ruling. Certainly did seem as much that it looked like it was more that Bellatrix was trying to draw the pen than there actually was a foul committed. You can't blame him for it. You want to get your team back in this game any way you can, and that's an option. But after all of that, ball rolls out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick for the Stanford Cardinal. Under 10 minutes to play.
And I bet the Hokies are just shaking their head at that decision, just knowing like, man, we could have had that chance to at least get as close as possible. Again, the shot amount has been light for Virginia Tech all night, and it would have been swift. A penalty kick would have been the one to do it. Again, you just got to play on, kind of turn the next page and see how you can reset on the offense.
One shot on goal specifically for Virginia Tech. So that one shot was on target, and that is all she wrote. For the Cardinals, 7 shots, 2 shots on target, and 1 goal to show for it. And I always say you can tell a lot of where the game was played by the corner kicks. And the Cardinal have won 5 of them. Virginia Tech just 1. Big indicator that a lot of this match has been played in Stanford's attacking half and Virginia Tech's defensive half. So it'll be Felicio, the left back, to take the throw-in.
I got to give a lot of credit to Felicio, the way he's been playing tonight. You know, he's definitely kind of been playing that coach on the pitch kind of role when it comes to the defense. And, you know, for the young man out of Lisbon, Portugal, of course, Cristiano Ronaldo country, you know, I'm sure he's been exposed to a lot of great soccer, a lot of ways to control the game, control the pace, and, you know, it's definitely great for Virginia Tech to have a player like him kind of be that leader in the defensive.
Yeah, in the left back role, just a freshman, but he certainly doesn't play like it. Plays well beyond his years, you mentioned, in Felicio. Started and played every match so far for Virginia Tech, and, well, then every match so far in his young collegiate career. 50-50 ball in the middle. It falls Virginia Tech's direction, but a long ball intended for Quill will be much too long for him. Felicio bumped in the back. He wants the call for that because as he was bumped in the back, that's why he touched it out of bounds. He's not going to get that call. Sasaki will find Pim. Here come the Cardinal on the switch. Pim. So shifty. So impossible to take the ball off of. And here's the overlapping run. Sasaki now into the middle. Allen will lay it off. Pim again! Went for the brace.
And he was just a few feet close from getting the 2, Sarah. Jack Pim trying to go for another chance from far out. It had to be at least 26 yards out from the shot. Not a bad idea to take a few risks, especially with the minutes winding down. Like, hey, why not?
Liam Doyle checks in for the Stanford Cardinal in place of Fletcher Bank here in these last 6 minutes of the first half. We'll see what either of these teams can create. A foul committed by Allen of the Stanford Cardinal. Down in the back is Peralta. Peralta also very key to this Virginia Tech defense. Tito Peralta, also a freshman. Freshman playing in the left center back role alongside his fellow freshman in the left back role. Tito Peralta out of Madrid, Spain. Getting his 3rd start tonight. Bohane trying to slip that through to find DeFlores. Just too slow of a ball. And it's Quill who will pick it up. The Hokies looking for that opening. And they'll find the switch. Better here from Virginia Tech, but they'll send it right back the other way where it came from. Quill now will vie for this 50-50 ball with Tenconi Gradius. It falls to Felicio. Felicio Trying to get that cross. It's defended well by Tanconi Gradius, who will clear it out. It'll hit the foot of Felicio. It'll stay in bounds.
And that ball just barely stayed in, kind of giving Virginia Tech another chance. And yeah, Felicio just had too many white jerseys in front of him to find that opening. And, you know, Rowan Sneepley, even though he wears green, hey, the white's going to take over.
Marcano slips it through. Bellatrix, no, Schnebly comes up big, and somehow it doesn't find the back of the net. But the Hokies are still threatening. Felicio with the cross in, headed out. And the Cardinal will just clear it away. Well, exactly what we were talking about here with this Cardinal team. They only afford their opponents a few opportunities, but somehow those have tended to go in so far this season. This time, Schnebly comes up big, and the defense comes up big. Allen with the turn. Bohane with two in front of him. Bohane will slow it down. He's got options. He'll cut it inside, not for the shot. It's blocked and well read there by Marcano. Now the Hokies deep in their own half.
How about the battle in the corner over there between those two?
Absolutely. Freshly checked in Liam Doyle battling on the Stanford Cardinal side. He'll lose it out this time, and here's Quill. Quill slotting it through. What a ball from Quill. Oh, a beautiful ball in there from Declan Quill, the senior. And he was trying to find his freshman streaking through. A beautiful run, but couldn't quite connect.
That was Degger Trosterson trying to go for the shot, but again, just a little bit too little off the foot. It was a great through ball there by Quill to give him the opening. Again, Rowan Sneebley just having such a fearful presence in the goal area.
Trosterson, a freshman out of Reykjavik, Iceland, getting some minutes, and this is the most life we've seen from Virginia Tech in this half. Schnebly's been locked down in goal for the Stanford Cardinal for a while now. Last year as a redshirt sophomore, Chardon played in every single game. In 20 games, he allowed 18 goals at a career-high 36 saves. The year before that, he split time with Jack Morris, who started 5 games, and Schnebly started 15. So last year, his first year as a tried-and-true regular starter, but he's been in the net for the Cardinal for a moment now as we hit the 2-minute mark here in the first half. This year, number 77 on the Top Drawer Soccer preseason players to watch list. Last year, 2 years ago, awarded Top Drawer Soccer freshman best 11 second team. Here's a big throw from Palmer Bank. We're gonna pause. We got a player down in the box on one knee on the Virginia Tech side.
I think they're just trying to stall here. They're able to get back up.
Here's the big throw from Palmer Bank. Into the middle, headed out, but not quite cleared out of the 18. Tanconi Gradius will settle. Deflection and a corner kick for the Cardinal. Now a minute 30 remaining. Liam Doyle will jog over quickly to take it for the Cardinal. Liam Doyle getting some minutes off of the bench tonight. Senior out of Tokyo, Japan. Has played in every game but one so far this year. Didn't appear versus Syracuse. But has been great off the bench, letting shots versus Sacramento State. And he'll put the ball into the box here. Into the middle. Getting a foot on it was Groeneveld, but over the crossbar. And 1 minute remains now in this first half. Virginia Tech will take their time here.
Yeah, always a challenge to get a corner kick through traffic like that, especially with how crowded it's going to be. And Virginia Tech looked like they're probably just going to let the clock run down here. Maybe try to catch the Cardinal by surprise on a late second attack.
Long ball. 50-50 in the middle, helped on. Couple of 50-50 balls, and eventually it'll fall out of bounds. Felicio will take it. Under 30 seconds now on the clock. College, the only time in soccer where we play to a buzzer. Bellatrix with 10 left, he'll swing it around.
10, 9, 8.
Airy will find his fellow center back. Virginia Tech will run the clock out here
2, 1.
as the first.
Work keeping Virginia Tech in their middle third and not giving them too many opportunities to get close into their goal area, but that narrative could be changing as we begin the second half. The crowd showing a lot of energy here tonight. And treated to a good one. Of course, we got students here getting ready to start class, but hey, starting class tomorrow, they could probably have a great conversation with their professors on what they did. See Virginia Tech trying to push here, going down hard there, but getting right back up.
Yeah, both teams have come out fast here in this second half.
Trevor Islam going down to the ground here. We're going to get across. Islam with the header. Oh, almost had an opportunity to get an early goal here. Less than a minute. Now we're going to get a whistle blown here.
Yeah, that's a really dangerous tackle there as Stone goes down, trying to take that shot. I think that was Marcano coming and sliding in. He got Stone's foot, and he got it late. So really dangerous opportunity here for the Stanford Cardinal. Absolutely within shooting range for quite a few players here on the Stanford Cardinal team. It looks like it'll be Partal and Bohane who will set up over it. Partal wearing number 16, the freshman. He would take it with the right. Bohane with that favored left. I couldn't imagine it not being Zach Bohane in this moment. He's so lethal from this distance, but we'll find out.
They're going to set up the free kick out maybe 23 yards out. See Partal going for it off the hands of Joseph.
It was Partal, and what a shot, but an even better save. Sam Joseph, the transfer. Well, he's familiar with the Stanford Cardinal. He's a transfer from UCLA. Of course, he didn't play the Stanford Cardinal last year, but back in those Pac-12 days, since he's a senior, he's very familiar with this Cardinal team. A pro-ready player, as his coach says.
Partal with the corner, trying to go in with it, and it finds the net. Stanford able to get one in there. Joshua Partal from the corner, delivering it inside. What a goal. Zach Bohan able to knock it off the head for his 4th goal in 2025. You can fire another bow and arrow. Cardinal up 2-0.
Zach Bohane, 4 goals, 2 assists now on the season. Points leader now for the Stanford squad. A leader on the field, off the field, senior midfielder. He's come up big for the Cardinal a lot when they need him to. Also, king of celebrations. He does it again.
You gotta love the presence that he has had in his 4 years with Stanford, wrapping up just a tremendous collegiate career. And like I said, Sarah, in the first half, wouldn't be a surprise to see him play at the next level with how great of a player that he has become under the tutelage of Jeremy Gunn.
Yeah, 2025 ACC preseason watch list, number 17 on the Top Drawer Soccer preseason players to watch list. Last year was ACC all-first team. Just so many accolades and all well-deserved from the midfielder. He can play on the outside, he can play on the inside. He's just a great attacking player. He can create wherever he is on the field. And that time, it's off of a cross. Finally, the Stanford Cardinal get one off of a cross, be it a corner kick, but a cross nonetheless.
And it took less time to do it, especially with going pretty much the majority of the game with having those opportunities in the goal area, but not able to get a shot off until later on. But with just only within 3 minutes of the second half, you can see that they started to become more adjusted on the offensive possession.
Yeah, well, I mentioned both teams came out fast, and that's exactly what happened. And both teams came out wanting a goal first in the second half, and it's the Stanford Cardinal looking to do it again now.
Yeah, look at this at the front. That's Bank And it's going to get kicked away, so Virginia Tech able to clear out. Now it's just going to be a throw-in, goes all the way out of bounds. With a quick throw in there, the way Uimana. And give it over to Peralta. Over at the top, trying to read the pitch here. Make sure his Hokie brethren get settled in. Cardinal able to win the ball back. There goes Bank. He has space and room. Gonna go for the cross to Islam. A little bit too offline. But it was deflected off the foot of a Virginia Tech Hokie.
Yeah, those two trying to create something. Stanford in a 4-4-2, and those two playing the two forward positions, and Fletcher Bank and Trevor Islam. And they knew they didn't really have numbers. They knew they didn't really have the timing on it. But Bank just delivering the cross when he could. Trevor Islam trying to get there, but just a couple steps away.
There comes Partal again, setting up for the corner. Let's see if we'll get deja vu.
Yeah, well, we talked about how many goals that was for Zach Bohe, and we didn't mention that that's the 5th assist for Joshua Partal in 9 games. As a freshman, this collegiate career started off well.
Here he goes again. Stanford kind of backing out here in the box. Oh, almost looked like it could have been one of those rare Olympicos from Partal, but kind of airmailed the corner kick. Oh, no, there's a little bit of a shoving match here over in the goal area between some Cardinal players and some Hokie players. And Sam Joseph kind of trying to play mediator there, trying to split everybody up. And
we might see a Stanford Cardinal player get called back and get a yellow card. It looks like it's Dylan Grunewald. Whether he'll get a talking to or a card, unclear. He was certainly in the middle of some of that shoving.
And I have noticed, Sarah, that throughout this match, Trevor Islam has been kind of throwing a few bumps here and there to Sam Joseph, kind of trying to get in his head a little bit. So
no, that's his job as a forward, you know, nothing illegal, just a little something here and there, and he's clearly gotten inside the head of Sam Joseph.
And there is still a conversation going on here with referee Nikola Alexic and Tito Peralta having a few words with him. Seems like everything's kind of settled down here, at least we think. But you never know. Could be another occurrence taking place. Here goes Stanford trying to get a quick chance. Joseph able to be in the right place.
Oh, Bohane picked that off. He can't believe he didn't finish that. That was just a poor pass by Portella. Tiago Portella, number 23, the freshman, having subbed in this holding center mid position in a giveaway in the most dangerous part of the field.
Bohane from the right. Just knocked away, but will be a corner for Stanford.
We talked about Sam Joseph, though, and how big he just came up once again. We talked about how important he is to this Virginia Tech team, and it's so important. There's not really words to be able to describe just how important 3 clean sheets, and this score would be mighty different if he wasn't in the net right now for Virginia Tech.
As you said, a corner will be a throw-in, according to the line referee. Bohane with the ball. Long pass inside. Oh, Islam not able to get there first. Head away, but Stanford does regroup. Bank has an opening, trying to go for the shot, but it's grabbed in the hands of Joseph.
Yeah, you see Trevor Islam crashing on that. Oh, very long throw. Impressive by Sam Joseph there. But you see Trevor Islam crashing on that. If he just gotten a toe on it to poke it in that near post, that would have been a goal without fail. Just couldn't quite get there.
They even had Alex Chow setting him up with the assist opportunity. So here come the Hokies back on ball. There's some action going on the far side, but a good takeaway by Will Cleary. Stanford trying to get back into the middle here. There's Stone in the middle, tried to find Bohan. Joseph's just going to pick it up.
You mentioned Will Cleary. We saw him go down off the ball in the first half. He was subbed out for the remainder of the first half, so nice to see him back in his starting position in that right back role for the Stanford Cardinal.
Try to go for a chance there, but Ian Marcano not able to get enough on the ball, so will be a throw-in for the Cardinal. See Stanford trying to reset. Get the ball back over to the middle. Bank not able to have a clean header there on the throw-in. Peralta will give it back to Joseph. And Sam Joseph fashion, reading the pitch, kind of waiting until his guys get set.
You can just see there's nothing there for him. Anytime he tries to telegraph where he's going, there's just nothing there. There's nothing there short, so he had to send it long. That's not what you want to do if you're Virginia Tech. You want to get possession. You want to play it out of the back. But Stanford pressing so high with Fletcher Bank and Trevor Islam, those two forwards, that there was nowhere for Joseph to go.
Oh, Bank able to throw the body, but not able to win the ball against Arieli. They're going to motion it back to the middle. Now it'll go all the way to the back. Cleary able to send to the right to Bohane. He's going to get back in possession for Virginia Tech. Now they're getting into that attacking third here again. They're trying to go in with a chance, but a great clear out. Virginia Tech's back with it. Arieli over to his right. Able to hit Wimana. There's Fletcher Bank. Taking a beeline down the center line. Trying to scurry away. On Jeremy Gunn shouting from the sideline, calling for a whistle. They will play on. Cross inside by Cleary. Tried to hit Stone. And nobody home. Oh, what a bump. Great fight for the ball being shown there by Joshua Partal. Again, just nothing but white jerseys. Virginia Tech low in numbers on their attacking third. Able to win it back. There's Chow. Bohane all by himself. Finds Bank on the flat.
This game really starting to open up and go a little more end-to-end.
Bohane with a cross inside. Oh, and trying to go for the long shot from outside was Jude Stone.
Yeah, you could see him setting up for it. He just needed the perfect bounce to really get the right angle on it, and it bounces a little high, so he can't get his right foot over it, gets under it. But why not? A good attempt there from the freshman. This game, as I mentioned, really starting to open up, starting to go end-to-end. Stanford Cardinal, though, doing a good job making sure those numbers are back. The difference here has been Stanford Cardinal will always send it forward, check and see if they need to pull it back to keep possession. If they don't need to, okay, great, let's go. Virginia Tech, on the other hand, they haven't been doing that second element. There you go. Great hold-up play there from Marcano. More of that second element, more possession. That's a good job from Alvarez to do so.
Beltran Alvarez working in that right back position. Able to move the ball up. Again, the Cardinal just having strength in numbers on their back line. Again, the defensive line has just been an absolute wall for Virginia Tech to try to bust through with no space.
Stanford doing a great job of keeping that defensive shape. That's between lines, that's within lines, and back line's no different. Holding a very high line right now, the Stanford Cardinal. Leaves them a little vulnerable to a long ball over the top, as you can see them dropping here.
Oh, and look at that. Motion up front. Oh, and a good clear out. Dylan Gruneveld able to give that extra assistance with Rowan Schnebly.
It looks like Marcano's going to take this corner kick, but that's exactly what I'm saying. That high line leaves them vulnerable behind, creating this really open game. And that high line there, it didn't leave them open over the top, but it still left them vulnerable behind, and it leads to a corner kick here.
That's only the second corner kick of the night for Virginia Tech. Not too many opportunities. Schnebley able to secure the ball.
Well, and you see the idea there, but down by 2, I think I'd like to see Virginia Tech put that ball really into the box and cause some chaos.
Islam trying to make a run for it. Almost got outpaced there by Tito Peralta, but Sam Joseph able to step in.
You can see Sam Joseph motioning to the referee. Hey, that's the second time I've been run into by this guy. Now he'll play it out of the back.
Here comes Virginia Tech once again. Still working within the midfield. Felicio over on the far left. And it looks like it came off of the foot. Number 7, Virginia Tech, that's Declan Queel. Cardinal able to win it back.
Declan Quill, we mentioned getting some sub minutes tonight, but a lot of sub minutes at that. He'd started every single game up until now, and he's added a really great attacking element to this Virginia Tech side. Came on as a sub in that first half, and he's stayed on since then. Since he's come on, he's just added another dimension, playing those balls through, able to split the Cardinal defense in a way that they really weren't able to do before he was on.
On Bank, gets the whistle, then the offside flag goes up. Bit of a tough call there. Oh, look at the presence that Palmer Bank having on defense here. I'm trying to go to the right there was Alvarez. That was a deflection. Now it's just going to be a clear out, but it will be a corner for the Hokies.
There'll be a throw-in, I believe, on this.
Throw-in?
Yeah.
Possibly. Yeah, we'll stick to a throw-in here.
Just looking for the ball is Declan
Trying
Quill.
to look for the ball.
It went into the stands. The stands have gotten quite a few soccer balls tonight. Declan Quill, I guess, will take it. It looks like they're setting him for a very long throw from the senior.
Quill with the throw-in. Header off the hands of Schnebley. Hits the top net.
Applause from the stands indeed. Rowan Schnebley getting up. What a throw and what an opportunity there for Virginia Tech. These past 5 minutes, Virginia Tech have had more of the ball. They've had more of the opportunities. This is the open game we were expecting. Stanford on their back heels right now defensively.
That was a great stop there for Rowan Schnebley, but the work's not done yet. And they will head that one in.
That looks like it was an own goal, actually.
It did. But nonetheless, it will be a point for Virginia Tech as they now cut it within 1. A tough break there for the Cardinal, conceding a goal of their own. As from the looks of it, that goal was owned by Stanford.
I think it was off the back of the head of Dylan Groneveld and no fault of his own. If you play center back, you're going to score a few own goals in your career. It's just that simple. And he was in the right position. The ball just hit him in the wrong part of the head as he rose. A lot of traffic in there. And disappointing for the Stanford Cardinal, but earned from Virginia Tech. You can see the energy shift. Just mentioning the past 5 minutes have been different. It's been open, and this high line for Stanford has been exploited by Virginia Tech. This open game is certainly benefiting them. Stanford are going to need to do what they can to control this game, gain possession, and not be tempted by the openness of it.
There's Stanford trying to have a short memory here. Trying to raise it back. Fletcher got caught up in traffic.
That's going to be a high boot.
Yeah, it's going to be a whistle here. Jude Stone I got a little bit too close to the face that time. Good interception. And Fletcher Bank kind of just nonchalantly going after the ball as Sam Joseph just cleared it out.
Yeah, we'll try not to get pummeled by Sam Joseph, understandably so, by Fletcher Bank. Virginia Tech have really surprised everybody. They were picked to finish 13th in the ACC preseason poll. Stanford picked to finish 5th, tied with SMU. But we mentioned the strength of their schedule and the results.
Oh, and look at that. Oh, not enough on the header.
That was
by
Alex
Chow.
Chow, yeah. Just to finish that, we've talked about the strength of schedule and the results that Virginia Tech have had. This is the Virginia Tech team that we expected end to end.
A little bit of a curl. Snebly just picked that one up. Yeah, you just think about how competitive the ACC will be the rest of the way. Again, if Virginia Tech falls short tonight, it doesn't mean that they won't have an opportunity against another ranked team going forward. Talk about going forward here. Joshua Partal could have made some magic happen as there was a little bit too much zip on the pass. Counting down with only 25 minutes left here in the second half is Phillip Hall with Sarah Ash. 2-1 Stanford lead Virginia Tech. Stanford trying to go for win number 7 overall in the season and only win number 2 in ACC play so far in 2025.
You can see the frustration starting to mount for the Cardinal here. Momentum is pretty much completely swung in Virginia Tech's favor. If you're Virginia Tech, you want to keep this open. You want to keep it end to end. You want to keep it a little chaotic. It's certainly benefiting them. If you're the Stanford Cardinal, you just want to get some possession. Keep that ball at your feet. Take the wind out of the sails of your opponent. Start playing like you're up by 1 goal. Right now, they've been tempted by the openness of this game because they can push the pace if they want to. But they don't have to right now.
There's Alex Perez with the free kick here. A little bit too long, but not enough black jerseys running in the goal area. Hokies will take another throw in. And while they were setting up for that free kick, Sarah, you can see Sam Joseph coming all the way out, kind of close to midfield, yelling to the referee, calling for a yellow based on the aggression of a certain play.
Man, no surprise there. Not the first time a player would have yelled for that. A dangerous ball, though, there from Joseph.
Yeah, real dangerous as Joao Felicio all by himself now moves it up. And a great slide tackle. Sam Joseph going to reset for Virginia Tech. Felicio again, squaring up against Bohane. Instead, they'll back it up. No way. Uimana.
You can see the Cardinal have backed off here. They're not going with a high press anymore. They've been beat long enough times in behind. They're going to sit back. Allow for something like that.
Snebly sends it high in the air. Hang time on that ball. Oh, and falling to the floor, losing the ball in battle. Uimana. Here comes Islam. Islam with a long cross. And he's trying to hit Palmer Bank.
Fletcher. Oh, they're twins.
A little bit too far to the left.
Oh, it's a great shot, though, from Fletcher Bank. He's aiming for that top bin on the far side. Just trying to curl it in. A great look. I'm sure he scored that, 8 out of 10 times, and that time just a little too much on it.
We'll say the Bank brothers have been having quite the presence here tonight. There's Fletcher. Not to get the twins too confused.
Fletcher Bank actually a senior. Palmer Bank, a redshirt junior, having redshirted his freshman season. So Fletcher Bank in his final year here with the Cardinal. Palmer Bank will have one more. We're going to have a stoppage of time as, unfortunately for Virginia Tech, it looks like Sam Joseph, their goalkeeper, is down holding his hamstring.
Also, like, Roland Schnebley is down as well, kind of stretching out his leg. Might have a cramp. And you can see the Stanford trainer running over to go check on him, make sure he's okay, and that would be a big loss if he would have to lead this game.
Yeah, you certainly just hope it's a cramp. That's the first thing you hope for. Good news for goalkeepers is that they can get athletic training staff coming on and they won't have to be subbed off. Field players, of course, get athletic training staff on. You have to come off at least for a second. Rowan Schnebley can get this looked at as long as he needs to on the field, and they'll determine what needs to happen from there.
Now, while he's getting checked up, it is a good time for Stanford to rehydrate and talk strategy. And Sarah, so far in the second half, of course, with Stanford getting that additional goal from Zach Bohane, they've been able to continue to press hard on offense, and Virginia Tech just, even though with that one goal, it still feels like they have an uphill battle and trying to go for the tie here.
But they certainly seen up to the challenge is what I'll say. They've been controlling the majority of this second half. Stanford obviously scoring at the beginning of this second half, but since then, the response has been fantastic from VT. It's been all them since Stanford put that second goal away early on here in the second half. And it's been all Virginia Tech. And I think that the onus is really now on the Stanford Cardinal to try to stop them. Virginia Tech, they just need to keep doing what they've been doing. And it certainly does feel like they'll create the chances that they need to potentially put a second one away. My guess is for Jeremy Gunn right now, a lot of what he's saying to his team is what I was just mentioning, that they don't have to match this pace. They can be calm, composed, collected. They can swing it around the back. They've had possession in this game. They know how to do it. Let's get back to that.
Now the players will return to the pitch here after the quick hydration break. Roland Schnebley will stay in the game after getting checked up on. So hopefully his form is still in good shape. As they will set up for a goal kick here. Sam Joseph waiting for the ball to drop like New Year's Eve in New York. And Virginia Tech kind of waiting back here, not going too far downfield. They were able to win the ball that time. That was Andy Solons. See some action there on the inline. It gets cleared out. Now here comes Fletcher Bank. Oh, it's in a 1v1 battle. Not able to win the 50-50. Felicio gives it to Quill. Quill being double teamed. Cleary and Bohane giving him problems. The Hokies do stay with it. A long shot attempt from that middle third there. Tito Peralta kind of taking a risk there. Maybe on the surface it was probably a wasted opportunity.
Yeah, a bit of a gift to the Stanford Cardinal, whether that was an attempted cross and he just kind of mishit it or he saw an opening that they wanted to exploit. Not sure, but certainly a gift here for the Cardinal, who were under pressure in their own half. Now Virginia Tech putting the high press on. We're going to have a stoppage of time right now as our center referee motions. Just wants everybody to stop talking to him.
Been very vocal in this second half. Both these teams not giving anybody an inch. How about that ball by Bank? Islam trying to chase after, trying to fight for it. He's able to get it back. Bohane in battle with Felicio. They both go down. Stanford still with the ball, trying to hang tough. And the offside flag will raise.
Better work there from Stanford, and they're so good in tight spaces, just working in that really small area over there, somehow still able to find an opening. A little calmer on the ball now are the Stanford Cardinal, and Trevor Islam with his speed up top, he's been able to stretch the play and put that back line under pressure, even though Stanford as a team aren't really high pressing.
On Virginia Tech, we get any clearance. Noe Oimano with a desperation pass.
Yeah, well, you could hear Declan Quill shouting for that. He wanted that ball on the ground. He wanted it through, and he wanted it about a second earlier. Those two just not able to connect on that one. A good idea, though, as that ball was certainly on.
Yeah, timing was a little bit off there for the pass. Now here comes Palmer, Bank. Oh, going inside. Oh, and trying to go from the left was Alex Chow. Another quality stop and save by Sam Joseph.
Yeah, and that's the defense as well, coming up big, getting in the right position and chasing Chow down.
Chasing Chow down. Good wordplay there, Sarah. That was Oimana again. Give it over to Quill. Quill trying to look for Perez. He does. Perez still working on the right. Oh, Islam going down the ground for a little bit of a shoulder shove by Perez. Now he motions to the middle. He gets pushed from behind by Chow. And that will put Virginia Tech in a solid spot for a free kick opportunity.
Well, solid to say the least. This is a very dangerous opportunity here for Virginia Tech. I'd be surprised if they didn't shoot it well within shooting range. We actually saw Stanford just have the almost carbon copy exact same thing in the first half. Exact same opportunity from the exact same distance. It looks like it'll be the lefty Perez standing over it. We'll see if anybody joins him. It will be Marcano wearing number 10. Both of those two have been able to create so much for this team tonight. Marcano a sophomore, Perez a sophomore as well. Future's bright here for Virginia Tech. A lot of sophomores and freshmen across the field stepping up.
Here goes Perez against the four-man Stanford wall. On it, hits right at the top of the wall, too high. But he's able to win the ball back. It's deflected, but Schnebley able to be in the right place at the right time. Still no luck for the Hokies.
Well, whether there was a potential handballer in there or not, Cardinal were calling for it. Nevertheless, doesn't matter now.
Schnebley would just gonna have to go for the long pass here. Oh, that one sails over Bohane. Bank able to keep it in, but Virginia Tech does win it back.
I can hear Jeremy Gunn from the other sideline yelling, drop, 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 drop. Such a stark difference between that high press in the first half. Right now, they just want to make sure nothing gets in behind. Subs getting ready on the sideline for the Stanford Cardinal as well. Getting directions from their head coach, Jeremy Gunn.
We're going to see who is going to be coming in the latter half here in the second half. Stanford trying to hold on. Perez over to the middle. There's a Marcano. Finding enough space on the wing. Maybe headed out. They're still fighting in that goal area. Oh, almost risky there, but Alex Chow able to get a foot on that one. Oh, and Tito Peralta going down hard on the slide tackle attempt by Chow.
Chow's going to get a yellow for that one, and whether it was sold or not, certainly looked late.
Yeah, and the yellow gets handed to Alex Chow. But even with Tito Peralta, no pun intended here, Sarah, but he was throwing caution to the wind, running down the right flank.
And for Stanford, number 13, Shady Flores, and number 18, Jack Boom.
I love to see number 18, Jack Pym, re-entering this game. Pym, the goal scorer, freshman, number 18, scored that first goal for the Cardinal in the first half in the 34th minute. And he's just such a calm presence for this Cardinal, exactly what they need right now.
Yeah, great to see Jack Pym back on the pitch for the Cardinal.
Shane DeFlores here, the other sub for the Cardinal, and he can do this. He can stretch him, and he can hold up play, and he can draw a foul, which is not given.
Oh, Shane DeFlores getting brought down to the ground, and also getting brought down to the ground on Virginia Tech's side. Noe Uimana, crowd showing displeasure to that call. Even also noticed that Jack Pym kind of grabbed Uimana in the process as well in the attempt for going for the ball.
Few subs here for Virginia Tech too. Some shouts from the fans. It's not easy to be a referee, the most thankless job I think this world has to offer.
Well, we've got a physical match all night, Sarah. And with knowing what the stakes are, of course, for the Hokies, the stakes are much higher for them, and so is for Stanford. This is a game that could really determine how things are going to shake up in the top 25 polls if the result were to change.
Well, not just the top 25 poll. I mean, you look at conference play. This is a conference matchup right now. And right now, Stanford sitting with 1 win and 1 loss in the ACC. Virginia Tech with 1 loss and 1 draw. This is going to affect the standings big time in the ACC. Stanford right now in 7th. Virginia Tech right now in 13th place out of 15 teams total. And everything matters in conference play. You don't get a lot of those games, and you got to make every point count.
Uimana able to win the ball there, but Stanford able to clear for the space. Here comes Fletcher, one of the Bank brothers, passing it over to his brother Palmer. Palmer with a cross. Oh, just sails over the head of DeFlores. DeFlores, oh, not able to win the ball that time. It sails in the air. Fletcher Bank falling on against the Uimana. Perez now getting some contact from Palmer. Hey, the Bank brothers not giving that Virginia Tech back front line any breathing room, even the back line as well.
Yeah, that's good pressure there from the both of them. And that's a totally fine foul to give away if you're Palmer Bank. Virginia Tech deep in their own half. You foul them there, and maybe something like this happens.
Fletcher.
Yeah, he left it. He knew it was offside. He knew there was no point in that.
Good awareness there, and him reading the field. One of the substitutions for Virginia Tech, Lugo Bertelli, wearing number 8, now entering the game. Zach Bohane over on the wing. Now left on the island, no help around him. Gonna work to the middle here. And that was kind of a give and take for Virginia Tech. Not enough support for Bohane. Oh. That Mike Risendine almost got hit by the ball there going out of bounds.
Certainly.
Bohane still possessing great defense. On a strong tackle from behind. Oh, and
what
look
a tackle
at that.
there.
Yeah, that's intense.
Yeah, that's Palmer Bank going up against Amir Airley. Amir Airley getting his 6th start. The freshman started and played in every single game but one at Barnsley, England, and he's had a great game so far. He didn't start in the previous game against Boston College. That was the sole game he did not start in. He gets to start tonight. He's been great in that center back role, and no fault to either player there. It was just a big 50-50 ball and a big crunching tackle.
Yeah, it was like almost shin to shin also as well. You see Arieli having to walk it off and now running off the limp. but the Cardinals do get the throw in. Here goes Palmer. It's going to go all the way back to Coney Gradius. The chase down the right wing. Shane DeFlores trying to win the ball. Goes down. Whistle gets blown.
And that's what he's great at. He's so good on the ball. He's got such a touch, and he can hold the ball up whether there's one defender around him, whether there's two. And when somebody like that can hold the ball up enough for that much time, eventually the defender's probably going to come in and shove him to the ground or accidentally foul him, and that's exactly what happens there. Great work from Shane DeFlores.
Time is running slim for Virginia Tech. Just over 11 minutes to go in the match. We're going to set up for the free kick here. Stanford looking for the insurance. Could have had a chance to get it, but just sails a little bit too over the goal.
Yeah, you can see the frustration. Dylan Grunewald really thought he had that one. Frustrated with that outcome.
You know, the Hokies can't really waste any more time here. Running out of too many attack opportunities. Jude Stone out in the middle. Over to the far right. Bohane on the island. Still able to get it past, though. Trying to go inside, but had a Hokie right in front of him. It's deflected.
Jack Bohane just doing it himself. Using that speed down that right-hand side, finding himself some space. Great work from him. Able to win a corner kick after all that.
Corner kick, Stanford, number 16, Joshua Bartal.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll be happy to have that.
It looks like Bohane's going to jog over and either take it or give the short option. He's going to take this one.
Corner kick, now be taken by number 10.
Yeah,
Cardinal,
Bohane.
go ahead.
Yeah, Bohane doing the corner honors here. Bartal is setting up close to him. Wonder if they will go short here. They'll go long. Head the opposite way. Bohane receiving it back. And it looks like that one is going to be
Corner kick
another
again.
corner kick.
Cardinal doing a good job of playing with the lead right now. Taking their time, of course, to set this corner kick up, but also playing a little more relaxed
Number 10, Zach.
when they have the ball, not forcing it too much, not playing anything that isn't on.
Bohane will do a take two for the corner. On his no man's land, and Sam Joseph.
Yeah, a rare
misses it.
miss.
Very rare miss, Sarah.
Supposedly, somebody got a touch on it. It'll be another corner kick. This time from the other side.
And now this time, Joshua Bartal
Corner kick,
will take it.
Stanford, number 16, Joshua Bartal.
That's clear. Jeremy Gunn likes those in-swingers more than the out-swingers. You understand why as well. Just puts that goalkeeper under a little more pressure.
There goes Bartal now from the opposite side. Try to go inside here. And they find the net! What a goal! Fletcher Bank able to put it in. And I think that one seals the deal for the Cardinal.
Well, never say never. We've seen crazier things here at Kagan Stadium, but it certainly does have that air about it. Fletcher Bank with his third goal on the season. And the senior puts the squad on his back. Some chaos in the box.
The goal is under review.
Banks there to scoop it up, and now this is going to be under review.
Oh, wait a minute, Sarah. Let's hold our horses here. Just getting the announcement that they're going to review the goal.
Well, an important goal, so always wonderful that they're going to review it because it is so important. A couple things that they could be looking at right now as our center referee, Nicola Alexic, will take a look at this. A few things that they could look at right now. Number one, obviously, a potential offside was in that chaos. Did Fletcher Bank drift into an offside position? You don't know, and there's a potential for it. Stanford women's soccer had a game winner the other week that was called back. It ended in a tie game because they had a player offside off of a corner kick as well. Could the same thing be happening to the Cardinal men right now. Obviously, we don't have the benefit of replay, but they have all of the angles that they need. And our wonderful production manager, Doug Asumi, who's directing, is giving me some replays here and beautiful angles that I can see. You can't, but I can. And I can tell you right now, it's a close call. And it is important what the call on the field is.
Now we're going to see what the word is here. The referee still over by the replay table, taking a deep dive.
Yeah, we can't see those angles, but they've got as many as they can look at. But as I mentioned, the call on the field is important. The call on the field is that it's a goal. So really what they need is enough evidence to know that it is not a goal, right? It has to be clear and conclusive so that to overturn it. And that's important.
Still waiting for a decision. Even Zach Bohane taking a walk over to the referee, Nikola Alexic. I'm just having a casual conversation as the crowd just anticipating the call.
That's a goal.
And Fletcher Banks' goal will stand. Stanford now with a 3-1 lead. Just under 8.5 minutes left.
Yeah, and that's huge. What a swing. Virginia Tech really did have the momentum. They had the wind in their sails, and that might take a lot out of it. As I said, we've seen stranger things here at Kagan Stadium. So you never know, and certainly not the time for the Cardinal to take their foot off of the gas pedal.
You know, Sarah, I jokingly say I believe that Palmer and Fletcher Bank, if they were able to ever go into finance, they need to open up a bank and call it the Bank Bank. As Fletcher Bank, with his third goal in 2025, just put money in the bank for the Cardinal to hopefully walk away with a win, buying a miracle comeback from the Hokies.
Yeah, still good 8 minutes to play. I'm sure the Hokies will milk every second of it.
Oh, here they go, man. How about that back heel by Perez? Able to put it through the legs of Palmer Bank on defense there. Virginia Tech find themselves back in the attacking third. On a great slide tackle by Dylan Grineveld. Now it's just going to be cleared out. Another throw in for the Hokies. Perez, Marcano back to Perez, over on the end line. Oh, it looked like it just went a little bit out there, so Virginia Tech setting up for the quick. That corner there. Cross inside, but right into the hands of Schneble.
Well, that's a beautiful opportunity, and it can happen as quickly as that. You know, Virginia Tech nick one back right there, and we're sitting at 3-2 with plenty of time left.
And that's 5 saves on the night for Rowan Schneble. I guess you could say that's a bit of a light night for him, just knowing that Virginia Tech haven't had too many opportunities for him to go to work. He's going to go out here. Now we're going to get another substitution here late on. Clock does stop.
And for Stanford, number 29, Takashi Sasaki.
Now Takashi Sasaki will come back on to the game.
Yeah, Sasaki's a defender, and the player who is subbed off is the center forward and Shane DeFlores. So I think what we're about to see here is the Stanford Cardinal is shifting into a 5-back.
Now, I'm sure if a comfortable 2-goal lead, Stanford's going to put a lot of emphasis on the defense here. So it wouldn't hurt to go for a 4th goal, get that little bit of insurance that they need.
And the 5-back certainly a sign of respect to Virginia Tech. They know what Virginia Tech are capable of. They've seen it firsthand, obviously, and it's them saying, hey, you know, 6 minutes, that's plenty of time for Virginia Tech to score a couple of goals, and we're going to make sure that doesn't happen by putting an extra defender back here.
Yeah, go deep on defense. That's the approach. Man. Homer Blank just turned on the Jets there, pushing the way Uemana to the ground.
Yeah, Uemana wants a call for that. He wants a call for playing the player, not the ball. He's not going to get it. But listen, what a 5-back does is it also can invite pressure. And we'll see, it seems to be shifting into a 4-back in the offensive shape. The defensive shape will be a 5-back. And like I said, what that can do is invite the pressure. So we might see a 5 minutes of Virginia Tech with a lot of the ball and putting pressure on the Stanford Cardinal defense.
5 minutes left to go here in the second half. Stanford with a 3-1 lead as they were able to find an additional goal thanks to Fletcher Bank. Laying the ball there. And then losing the ball, Jack Pym. There's Al Felicio. Going over to Peralta. Amir Arieli going over to his right. Finds Alex Perez squaring up against Sasaki. Now they work the middle. Fletcher Bank back with the rock. He was trying to hit Bohane on the far side.
Yeah, he was just trying to chip the defender, try to find Bohane. Bohane would have taken that to the corner now. 4 minutes to play. Bohane would have gone right to the corner and just tried to waste as much time as he could.
And Stanford playing a little bit more relaxed from the back now.
Yeah, well, this is the 5-back. They're sitting with 5-4-1 now, Stanford Cardinal in their defensive shape. And like I said, this is going to invite the pressure. It's going to be the last 5 minutes of Virginia Tech with the ball, seeing what they can create against this Stanford defense.
We'll see a little bit of action here. Going over into the middle. Bertelli. Bertelli goes to Perez. Go all the way to the back. Arieli trying to move it up. There's Sasaki with the clear out. Jude Stone in a wrestling match. Now with Uemana get a whistle. Anyway, Uemana still showing displeasure.
Yeah, sub for Virginia Tech, and that's Zach Bohane down on the field for the Stanford Cardinal. On the ground, he'll get help up from center referee, always nice to see.
Definitely, and sure Zach Bohane, the work that he's been doing all night, a little bit winded. Like most of these Stanford players, it's been a very physical match on both sides, Sarah, but it's been a very rewarding match at that. Seeing Brad Bennett and Tomo Allen enter the pitch for the final 3 minutes remaining. Perez on the free kick, going deep, and Schnebley, great effort, able to leave his post and grab it. You have the scoreboard to hold after tonight. Stanford will come back here on Wednesday to take on Oregon State. An old friend from the days of the Pac-12. On. Going down there, taking a hard shot. Tomo Allen.
Yeah, both of these teams scheduling non-conference games ahead of their conference games. The card, it'll be Oregon State and then Boston College, and for Virginia Tech, it's ETSU and then Notre Dame.
Yeah, a lot of travel being involved for Virginia Tech, making the trip out here to California. Got to fly all the way back to the southeast, see East Tennessee State, and then you make a trip up to South Bend. It'll be quite a hectic road trip for them. Oh, and almost was an own goal. Virginia Tech there.
Great defending there by Virginia Tech, and once again, Stanford are going to spend as much time as they can right here.
All right, set up for a corner here. Joshua Bartol maybe looking for one more for good measure. Well, Tomo Allen kind of posting the ball in the corner. He's just getting double teamed, man. That's like back alley defense right there in the corner. And they're still stuck over there. Jude Stone trying to assist them. Stone and Allen is in a two-man match.
Yeah, Cardinal doing a good job. They're going to want to keep this ball right here in this corner. They're going to try to not let Virginia Tech out. Even if Virginia Tech gets the ball, they're going to try to close that down immediately.
Clock's winding down.
1 minute remaining in the second.
We just get the 1 minute alert as minutes now turn into seconds. Stanford looking to get win number 7 on the season, number 2 in ACC play. And this is a win that they definitely more deserving of, just knowing how physical this match was on both ends. Virginia Tech bringing the fight to them, but just couldn't get those opportunities offensively on the ball. I'm sure for the students in attendance, about to get ready to start class tomorrow, they'll definitely have something to talk about. It's a good time for Stanford men's soccer, just performing very well, continuing to show the nation why they are a force to be reckoned with.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
And there's the final whistle. Stanford